Oh mon Dieu, les gens qui parlent en français, ils ont tellement de charisme.
Guys, Chaco pleure. Look at me, je suis invisible.
As soon as I heard that there was going to be a game set in the geographic region that I live, in 2016 I immediately wishlisted. I wanted to play the game as soon as it came out, but a lot of the backers on Kickstarter kept saying on Reddit that the game would crash, there was a lot of optimization issues, the frame rate was horrible, and even whenever you had to go somewhere else on the open world map, the game had to stop, load, and then you would be able to progress through the level. Well, I can assure you that in 2022, the game still freezes to load another section of the open world map. But the game is super optimized, I haven't had any types of lags or issues, and I never crashed in my whole playthrough. Okay, but what about the story? I didn't just buy the game because of its passable graphics and its open world technology that rivals GTA Vice City that came out 20 years ago. The game's story is a whodunit murder mystery set in a small village in Quebec in the 1970s. You play as a private investigator hired by the typical rich English guy living in a small town full of French people. At the beginning of the game, as soon as you go into the man's store to go and talk to him, you find him dead on the floor. But you were just there because you wanted to go and investigate some vandalism and some stealing charges that were happening around his store. You go around the town searching for clues, but all you can find are townspeople stuck in ice statues, you find broken guns, a bunch of crossbow bolts scattered around the map, and that's when the investigation really starts to pick up. In the end, after playing for about 4 to 5 hours of gameplay, you find out that the whole town gathered together to go and try and hunt a mythical creature that was roaming around the town, and you find out that the rich Englishman shot and killed one of the villagers, one of the French villagers. Now, if you live in Quebec, you'll understand there's a lot of tension between English and French people, especially back in the 1970s. So obviously the French townspeople wanted revenge against, the rich, high and mighty English guy living in the town. So it started with a little bit of vandalism here and there. It escalated to stealing from his shop, and eventually, the doctor from the town shot and killed Hamilton. And then at the very end of the game, as soon as everything starts to get unraveled and you start knowing what's happening in the town, a Wendigo spawns right in front of you, and he's trying to turn you into one of those ice statues that all the other villagers are in. And then you escape him, and then you take a boat and roll the credits. Look, the story's not bad, but I wish that the devs did one of two things. I wish that maybe they could have kept the story believable, right? You find who killed who, there's no mystery Wendigo, there's no mythical beasts or anything like that. You arrest the person, and then you go back into Montreal or Quebec City and book them, and that could maybe lead into maybe a DLC, a potential DLC where instead of being rural, now you're in the city, right? For KONA 2 or something like that. Or the second thing I wish they did is just that Quebec is super rich in urban legend and folklore. La Corriveau, Séraphin, La Chasse-Galerie, Le Loup-Garou, those are just to name a couple. And instead of using one of multiple Quebec urban legends, they decided to go with a Wendigo, which whether you live in Michigan, whether you live in Sudbury, everyone knows what a Wendigo is. It's not tailored to Quebec. Other than that, I love the game. The voice acting was really good. The narrator was able to speak English and French properly. The NPCs on the map, it was just voiced very nicely. And as well, I liked how the game forced you to explore. There was no waypoints. The game didn't say, hey, go here, go there. No, you forced yourself to explore different parts of the map. And as you do that, the story expands. The only thing is, I had a lot of difficulties trying to find a specific key in the whole map, where even the dev had to step in, tell me where it is, and then I could progress into the level. Other than that, I got my $7 worth, and honestly, I would recommend the game. Yeah, it was pretty fun.